Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Santa Banks, and you are watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? We are going into the Great Gingerbread War, and, I had to bring somebody up here that, in my opinion, is such an amazing stand user. They train so many people, and that is a Happy Metalhead. Happy Metalhead. What would you prefer me call you as Happy Metalhead?
Some people call me Metalhead, or just by my real name, Ariel.
Oh, Ariel. I like that. I like the Little Mermaid. I like it.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you so much for joining me up here. Like I said, we're going into the Great Gingerbread War. It's coming up, and I need all the help that I can get. So thank you so much for coming up here and preparing for the battle with me. So before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So Metalhead, first question that I always ask each and every guest up here is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are.
Oh gosh. Well, hi everybody. I'm a Happy Metalhead, or you can just call me Metalhead, Metal, or Ariel, like I said. I am just your run-of-the-mill, part-time college student. I also work part-time at a zoo when I am not an active content creator on TikTok. I mainly do cosplay, but I also like to write parodies of songs based off of animes like My Hero Academia. I've done some Haikyuu and JoJo's as well. And I'm just here to spread some positivity and make friends in the anime community.
Hey, I love that so much. I mean, you just gave me so much more information about you. It's because I see all of the amazing cosplays, but you work at a zoo, you do parodies. That's awesome. It's like you're like the anime version of Weird Al Yankovic. So I think that's really awesome. So let everybody know real quick, where can they listen to this music at?
On TikTok. A lot of people keep asking me, can you please do Spotify this, Spotify that? And it's like, I don't quite know how to do that yet, but if I can figure something out, maybe collab with some people who are more tech savvy than me, I'll see what I can do in the future.
Hey, well, the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast is on Spotify. So I'll talk with my podcast guy, Trav, and I'll see how we do that stuff. Because I'm just the voice. I don't know any of the tech stuff.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm just the voice / the writer. So it's like, I don't know what to do from there.
It's like people always come to me and they're like, all right, so how do you do the podcast stuff? How do you upload? I don't know. You just got the mic here in front of me and I just start talking. That's all I do. So I think that was a really awesome origin story. And I got to ask you, working at a zoo, what is that like? What are some of your, favorite moments that you have from working there?
So I work in the education department at my zoo. So it's my job to go out and teach people about the animals that we have on exhibit for the public to see. And also work with one of our high school volunteer programs, training them, teaching them about animals and such. I just dropped my stylus. Oh, well. I actually started there 6 years ago as a volunteer in said program that I now work on and train teenagers in. And it's quite a treat because they're all really good kids who have that drive to learn about animals and want to teach people about conservation of the environment and saving animals as well. And it's a very rewarding job.
Hey, that sounds awesome. And that sounds just like something that, somebody that we both cosplayed before, Jotaro Kujo, trying to save the dolphins. So, now I got to ask you, moving to the cosplay stuff, what was it like when you went to your first con? Did you cosplay when you went to your first con, or did you go to the con? Okay, well, yeah, let's hear that story.
Oh gosh, so my cosplay lineup was Friday, I did my Femme Polnareff. On Saturday, I did Shota Aizawa. And then on the last day, Sunday, I did my Lisa, as you can see here. Nice. And it was such a blast. I ran into so many other JoJo's cosplayers and My Hero cosplayers. Everybody was just so friendly and welcoming. And the past couple of days for me have just been filled with following people back on Instagram and TikTok, sharing pictures and talking to people. They're so freaking nice. And my friends told me ahead of time, it's going to be a really warm experience because going to a convention is kind of like going to a family reunion. And they were absolutely correct about that.
Oh my God. No, it's crazy, man. Cause it's when you go to a con, like you said, it's like a giant family reunion, especially when you're cosplaying from a certain fandom. And to see the photos that you had posted online with all of the JoJo cosplayers, I was just like, yo, this is huge, man. I remember Incredible Con in South Carolina. I had went there as Part 6 Jotaro, and as soon as I walked in, like I saw Joseph and Kira, and I was just like, Grandpa, how are you doing? And then all of a sudden, like all of these other JoJo cosplayers just came out of nowhere. And then my friends that I was going there with, they came out of nowhere, and we pretty much just had JoJo cosplayers in the main hall. And I was like, this has never happened at a con before. And like I said, seeing all of the pictures that you posted, you did one with somebody that I'm friends with on Instagram, Killer Cause, who did an amazing Killer Queen cosplay. Like that one was awesome. That was so awesome. So, you know, I gotta ask now, because we're talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We'll get back to the cosplay stuff. I gotta know, which part is your favorite part from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Without a doubt, it's part 3.
Okay. All right. And why is it that part?
One word and one word alone. Polnareff.
Okay, I thought you were about to say D.
No, Polnareff is my favorite character. I love him to death.
Same. And, you know, I love playing with him in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle video game. How did you feel about it when your boy lost his legs in part 5, I'm sorry.
Oh, let's just say Diavolo is my least favorite villain for numerous reasons.
Same. So who's your favorite villain?
Honestly, if I had to pick my favorite, it would have to be Whole Horse, because at first he was really irritating to me, and obviously, you know, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched, you know, like after what he did to Avdol and caused so much trouble for the Crusaders, after rewatching that part a few times and like really looking at his character, I'm like, he's probably one of the least problematic villains on this entire show. Yeah. He's kind of funny. Okay, you know what? I like Whole Horse. He's cool.
He is. And I love that you said Whole Horse, because a lot of times when I interview JoJo cosplayers, you know, they usually always go for the main villain. So I always feel like it's refreshing when you hear a villain that's not a main villain. And, you know, a lot of people, they don't even consider Whole Horse a villain to begin with. He's just a man that's just trying to chill. And that's the reason why he was the inspiration for Kira. So now I got to ask you, which JoJo is your favorite?
Oh, which JoJo is my favorite? Oof. Not gonna lie, when I was still trying to catch up on all the parts, it kept going back and forth between young Joseph Joestar and Josuke. Especially Josuke, after I learned about what had happened to the voice actor. I was like, oh, that hurts my heart.
Yeah, man. Josuke, he's my favorite as well. And I think it's cool that you like Josuke and, you know, Joseph when he was younger. And rest in peace to Billy Komet. Like, he was such an amazing and awesome person. He was so positive, so full of life. And when I had saw the news, like, I was crying, because it's like, he was Josuke. You know how it's like some animes you watch and that character, I mean, that voice actor that voices that character, you fall in love with that character because of that voice actor. And he made me fall in love with Josuke, because he's Josuke. I know he's done other stuff, but, you know, he's Josuke, and rest in peace. And my condolences. I always say this whenever we, you know, talk about him, because again, like, he was an awesome person, and, you know, we've interviewed people that were really close to him. So again, rest in peace. Yeah. So,
rest
you know,
in peace.
I know. And, you know, since we're here too, like, my goal was always to interview everybody that was on part 4, because part 4 is my favorite part. And I want to say that we're probably at somewhere between 30 to 40% of interviewing everybody from part 4. And, you know,
really?
Like, yeah. And Trav and D, even though they don't like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you know what I'm saying? Like, they give me crap when we interview JoJo voice actors. Like, hey, part 4 is my favorite. I'm going to interview everybody I want to interview. So, who's that cosplayer?
It's the spooky darling.
You know, I want to ask you now, because you just mentioned your first con, and that was Anime NYC, which was recently.
Yep.
And it's like, you've done so many cosplays before you went to the con. So I want to know now, like, why was it that this was your first con? And, you know, why did you do so many cosplays before, you know, going to any cons before this?
Well, the number one reason I really didn't go to any conventions before was, you know, number one, financial issues. working a part-time job and working in a nonprofit, sometimes it's not easy making like just enough money to, like get by, but it gets me through. Another thing is that I never really had any friends in my state or near me that I could go to a convention with. I have a lot of friends that live, like on the West Coast. I have friends who live like over in Europe, a lot of people who live down south, and I'm in New England. I'm from Connecticut, so don't really know a whole lot of cosplayers here, but I've made some new friends recently who live in New York, and that's just about a train ride away from me. So now I have more motivation to go and more time to plan for future cons.
Yeah, I love that. And it's one of those things too, like the financial thing. I mean, it's cool if you're gonna go to a con by yourself, but at the same time, it's even better when you're with friends and people that you can do like the cosplay group stuff with, and it makes the trip so much better. So it's like I totally understand that. And just again mentioning like the amazing costumes that you've done. Have you made all of them yourself, or are they store bought? Because like some of these, like they look incredible.
Well, the one that I'm wearing right now, minus the necklace and the jewelry, I actually thrifted all of this, and
Nice.
it was the blue top here that you see that was the deciding factor of can I do a Lisa cosplay, because I found this at Goodwill on the rack for $6 and I tried it on. It was a perfect fit. I'm like, this is a sign, I have to do this. The scarf I actually made from an old bed sheet. I try to recycle and repurpose some of my old clothes into like closeted cosplays, but most of the time I usually just end up buying the costumes online if I can.
Nice. And speaking of like thrifting and Goodwill and stuff, it's like I went on an adventure I wanted to cosplay Kira, because Kira is like one of my favorite villains from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I was just like, I'm gonna go to a thrift store and I'm gonna find a white suit. And when I tell you, like, because I live in Virginia, I went to several thrift stores, Goodwill, DAV. I went to all of CHKD, and I could not find a white suit. And when
Really?
I finally found a white suit, but it was a medium. And I was just like, yeah, of course I can't.
Oh no.
So I didn't want to buy a new one. And because when I went to the suit stores, like these suits, they range from $150 to $300. And I was just like, I mean,
wow.
if I buy this suit, I might as well not even take it to a con, because I don't want to get it messed up. So I gave up on cosplaying as Kira. And one day I was in one of the cities, and I was working on my Kisame cosplay, and I was just like, let me go to the thrift store to see if they have any big belts there so I can make the harness that I need. And I saw a white suit. I was just like, man, there's no way. And so I went over to it, and I was just like, yo, let me try it on. And I went to try it on, and I was like, yo, it fits. So yeah, I became Kira, and it was an awesome cosplay. So
That's
agree.
fantastic.
Thank you so much. I feel like sometimes you got to give up. Like I guess you give up and then you find what you're looking for. But I know we were talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and we talked about the cons and whatnot, but you're also a My Hero Academia cosplayer. So
yes, I am.
Hey, you see, I got Deku right there behind me. I got all the My Hero pop. So I gotta ask you, who is your favorite character from My Hero Academia?
It has to be Eijiro Kirishima.
Nice. And your Kirishima cosplay, like that's fire too. And
thank you.
You're welcome. How long did it take you to, make all of that?
So the gears I actually commissioned somebody on Etsy for. I have a tendency to kind of go for more like small businesses. Because a couple of my close friends have small businesses, so I purchase from them all the time. So I had somebody make the gears for me. The rest of the outfit, I also just kind of thrifted and like tailored to my body. And the wig I just kind of got from Amazon, because I was like, you know what, I kind of want to do a fun Kirishima cosplay, because the regular wig wasn't really working out too well for me and it was difficult to style. So I was like, I'm just gonna put my own little twist on this and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, well, it looks amazing. And like I always love Kirishima cosplay, because it's like you say, you can put your own twist on it and do what you want to do with it. Now I gotta ask you, who is your favorite villain from My Hero Academia?
Twice.
Are you caught up?
I am, and I just read the most recent chapter today. I was a little behind because of the con weekend.
Yeah. Rest in peace. I mean, we all know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I mean, the same thing for My Hero. I think that for the manga, I'm just gonna take a break because I got like 5 chapters behind, and it felt so much more refreshing to read 5 chapters instead of just reading that 1 chapter and just like, now I gotta wait either a week or 3 weeks before the next chapter comes out. And final My Hero question that I have for you is, if you could have your own quirk, what would that quirk be?
I feel like I would have an animal quirk similar to Sue's. When translated in Hebrew, my name means Lion of God. So I feel like I would probably have a big cat quirk like a lioness.
Okay. I like that. That's different. That's unique. I've never heard, somebody give that type of quirk. And especially too, like, working in the zoo and whatnot, I think your background. I think that's really awesome. So, we're getting towards the end of the interview, and of course, I mentioned at the start of this thing, we're going into the Great Gingerbread War. So the next question that I have for you is, what has been one of your favorite moments that you have had during the holidays?
Oh, favorite moments. Well, now one thing that I look forward to doing every year as a cosplayer is bringing out my Christmas cosplays. And I'm kind of kicking myself because if I had known that you were going to do an interview in a Santa suit, I would have brought out my cosplay called Shota Claus. A couple years back in 2020, when I first started cosplaying as Aizawa, I was on Amazon and I found an all black Santa suit, and I have a Jack Skellington Christmas hat. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Shota Claus. And it was a big hit. And then the year after that, I started doing a Kirishima Christmas cosplay called Riot the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And it's in the works, but I also have a Christmas JoJo's cosplay that I'm going to be doing very soon.
Nice. That's awesome, man. You're going to have to send me those Christmas pictures so that way I can use them for the thumbnail when I put this episode on YouTube. And I want to do a Christmas themed JoJo as well. I want to do a Santa Jotaro. Like, I'll get the Santa Claus hat.
I love that.
Have the back cut out and then have like a red jacket on. And instead of ho, 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 it'd just be yar, yar, so yeah. But no, I think that's amazing. I can't wait to see the Christmas cosplay that you're going to be doing soon. Can you give us a hint on what it'll be?
Well, I mean, the character that I am going to be doing is, kind of sitting right in front of you.
Well, look, I'm going to be looking forward to seeing that. And I think that's awesome that, for the holidays, like, you always do a Christmas themed cosplay. And I think that's sweet. So, we're here at the end of the interview. Thank you so much for coming up here, Metalhead, letting me hear your story, letting everybody in the world hear your story. So let everybody know in social media land where they can find you.
I am mainly on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube as a Happy Metalhead, all the same.
Awesome. And hey, y'all know where y'all can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all, everybody, for watching this interview. Make sure you check out some more interviews we have here on the channel, along with reviews and reaction videos. Check out our podcast. We have brand new episodes every Tuesday. The link is down below in the description. And then the video of that interview is up here on YouTube on Friday. So with that being said, keep that pinky up, stay safe, get ready for the Great Gingerbread War. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.